Hi everybody, Jessie here from jessiebanks.com and back with another video for LDRS Creative. So I'm showing you guys my all dressed up image and a bunch of the dies I had pulled to use on this card. I didn't end up using them, that Peaceful Dove die that I showed you at the start, and this one as well, the Gilded Doily die, I ended up not using in this card. I do like to pull out a bunch of dies that I would like to use so that I have them on my desk and I can kind of look at them as I'm working everything into my design. So I'm starting here with the Pierced Oval die from the Creative Basics line, and I'm going to cut my image out with that. And then this Gilded Oval die I'm going to use just in white cardstock. One pass through the die cutting machine, and these dies cut amazingly. Especially this one. Like with all of those details around the edge, I run it through once, and she's out like a charm. Love them. They cut so great. I don't need wax paper. I don't need to do anything to season my dies. They just cut fantastic. So I really enjoy that. So I'm going to do a little distressing on the side of our image here, and then we're going to pop it up on top. I like layering these two together because, as you'll see here in just a moment when I pop this up with foam tape, you don't see any of the white of like what holds all that filigree together. So it looks really nice because you just see all these dainty little bits popping out from behind your image. I really enjoy it. I like layering these two together. I've done it quite a few times. So I've got a 5.5 square card base here, and I'm just going to start layering on my pattern papers. I like when I do my pattern papers on cards, like actually on most cards, if I'm doing patterns on top of patterns, I like to break it up with cardstock in behind, just so that they all don't run together. It's a personal preference. Lots of people don't do it and their cards turn out beautifully. I do it because it's a habit and I enjoy the way that looks. So I'm going to put my adhesive on the back here now, and you'll see later on in the video when I attach the card to the card base why I like doing that, because my cards end up pretty chunky and bulky a lot of the time, and then I don't have to worry about my card me not being able to get tape on the back of it really easy. I can just pull off the release paper on that and stick it down and I have no problems. So we're going to add one more piece of this in the background, or add another piece of pattern paper in the background. And then I'm going to go in and I'm going to work on, I add 2 horizontal stripes across and I make them and realize they're too big. So I use one and I have to make another one that's smaller. And they turn out fantastic. It's the look I was after anyway, so I really enjoy that. So here's our floral paper. I really like that I can build a very simple background out of pattern papers like this and have it look really, really clean and simple. And then you go in with a few die cuts from the Little Darlings Rubber Stamps line and add a couple of flowers on top of that, and it looks absolutely gorgeous. It's like, it takes 3/4 of the work out of it because the dies just kind of finish it off without any issues whatsoever. So again, I'm cutting all of my white to layer behind that pattern paper just to give me that differentiation that I was talking about earlier, just to break it up that little bit. So we're going to put those all together. This is sped up super fast. This is like 8 times the original speed. I was a little crooked there. This is like 8 times the original speed, so it all kind of looks like it comes together a lot faster than it does. Definitely take your time. Play with things until you get them the way you want. You can see there that I discovered that, oh look, Jessie, your math failed you in this card. So we're going to end up bumping that one down to the bottom, and I'm going to create a skinnier one to put on top of it. And I'll use the exact same patterns. I'll use that green pattern paper and that floral one there. Layer those all together, and then we'll get to start in on our die work. So I am going to cut out 2 of the Majestic labels dies, and I'm going to cut out 2 of the Tailed Dragonflies. I love these dragonflies. These dragonflies that I'm going to cut out right away here, I could put on every card I make in this style ever. They layer in behind so perfect. The sizes are like just right. They're not too big, but they're big enough that you can tell what it is all the time. It doesn't get lost in all the other stuff that I'm going to put on here. So see here, I'm cutting it out and you'll see I got this one and then I cut out another one, and so I got those 2, and then I cut out both one of each of the sizes of the dragonflies, and now we're going to layer them all together. So I ink these up and then I cut them in half simply because I've already glued my image down with wet adhesive, so I can't lift it up again. And I can get 2 out of 1 if I cut them up and I don't have to die cut them again. So you can always cut more than one, it's no big deal, but you don't see the other side and they're the same on both sides. So that's why I went about it that way. So I'm going to layer these together, and then we're going to put our dragonflies on with a couple of flowers. And what I really like is when I adhere my dragonflies, I'm going to adhere just the bodies of the dragonfly. So as I put my flowers on, I can lift those wings and tuck those flowers in behind, which works out beautifully. So we're sticking these on with our liquid adhesive and going to add this onto our card base now before I put all of our flowers on. I'm probably doing this because my hot glue gun is currently warming up because I didn't plug it in at the start like I should have. So now we're going to adhere our dragonflies by running liquid glue down just the center of the bodies. Again, that's so that I can lift those wings up and move those wings around once we add our flowers and everything on. So we're just going to adhere this all together, and that'll call our card complete. Alright, so here's our final card. I did a card very similar to this for LDRS for CHA, and I had used another one of the All Dressed Up new release images. These should be available very, very shortly. I used a bunch of dies that are currently available in the store. You don't have to wait for all of that to come in, which is super exciting. This is the basic pierced ovals die from the Creative Basics line, which I layered on top of the filigree cutout one from the Gilded Oval set. I like the way they fit together because it completely covers all of the solid white base and you just get that beautiful detailing around it. I've done this lots, this Majestic rectangle labels die, the big one, and I use it as tags and tuck it in behind. I just really enjoy it for layering. I love it. It's great for sentiments and all that other good stuff, but I really enjoy it for layering as tag. And this Tailed Dragonfly die is like my be-all to end all. I absolutely adore all of these dies, so I mean, I guess they're all like that for me. But so those are the 4 dies that we used on this card today, and I hope you guys really enjoyed the video, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye for now.